Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Taoshobuddha live via streaming on Facebook, and also those who are connected via Skype. Each one of you is welcomed. These past few weeks, the talks are not available on YouTube as there is something needs to be corrected with my laptop and hence the recording system. What is the difference between samadhi and satori? As we know, satori is a small window into the unknown and unknowable. Satori is a word originated out of Zen, and samadhi is the word that originated from Vedanta, the Hindu way. Samadhi begins as a gap, but it never ends. Samadhi begins as a gap, but it never ends. Whereas a gap has both beginning and end. Gap, along with beginning and end, has boundaries. A beginning and an end. Both have boundaries. Samadhi begins as a gap, and then this gap becomes everlasting. There is no end to it. Satoris come and go. Samadhi, when it comes, it becomes everlasting and never comes to an end. So, if the happening comes as a gap and there is no end to it, know this as samadhi. But if it is a complete gap with both beginning and end, then it is satori. Then what is the difference? If it is just a glimpse, just a gap, and the gap is again lost, if something is bracketed and bracket is complete, you peep into it and come back. You jump into it and come back. If something happens and it is lost, it is satori. All of a sudden, something happens, you get a glimpse of something. A thought comes to your mind, and there is a gap, comes and goes. That which comes and goes is satori. That which comes and never goes is samadhi. If something happens and it is lost, it is satori. It is a glimpse of samadhi, but not samadhi itself. Samadhi is total, and satori is a glimpse, a window into that totality. Samadhi means the beginning of the knowing. This beginning is without end. Beginning without end. In India, we have no word that corresponds to satori. So sometimes when the gap is great, one can misunderstand, or the gap is lasting for a little longer time, then we misunderstand this as samadhi, but it is never. Satori is just a glimpse. You have come to the cosmic end, looked into it, and then everything is gone again, disappeared. Of course, you will not remain the same, even if you get a small glimpse into it. You will not remain the same. There will arise a great anxiety in you to have this state coming again and again. Sometimes it happens when we are in a state of meditation, the flow of energy is very intense, as Sufis call it samadhi. Sufis call it tawajjuh. We aspire to have this state coming again and again. But you remember, these are the various stages. You are recuperating after a long illness. Many stages comes. You want to retain a particular stage, but that does not happen. You are traveling, and you are traveling in a train. Train passes through. Various sceneries appear. Sometimes some are good, some are very attractive. You want these to remain permanently, but it cannot happen unless you break your journey. But the journey of enlightenment is not broken. A river is flowing, and it will stop only when the merger happens. When the drop merges into the ocean, only then there will be an end to it. Otherwise, the journey continues. Water is a flow. It is a resource. It is the energy. And if the river water dries for any other reason, then the journey naturally comes to an end. So to your aspirations, your aspirations are the continuous effort or provide the nourishment for the journey to continue. Samadhi means it is the beginning of the knowing. You are entering into a new realm. It is beginning but without end. And according to the Indian system, there is no corresponding word for satori. So sometimes when the gap is longer or great, we misunderstand this as samadhi, but it is never. Satori is simply a glimpse. You have reached to a particular city where you are visiting another country. You checked in your hotel room late in the night. It is cold outside. You cannot go outside as well as it is dark. You are anxious to get a glimpse of the city from the hotel room, although you were constantly watching through the window as you drove from the airport to your hotel where you were supposed to stay. You keep on getting the various glimpses, but can you call this one glimpse is the beauty of the whole city? It is simply a glimpse into the totality of the beauty that this city is all about. The city where you are visiting. You have, if we call this entire beauty of that city as the cosmic beauty, then you have come and you have looked into the cosmic beauty like a framed picture. When you have a framed picture, it is a frame that captures a certain portion of that ultimate reality. Satori is like a framed picture. You are in a particular area where certain activities are taking place. You take a picture. Picture will capture only a certain portion of the entire happening, entire space that is there where the activity is taking place. It simply gives a glimpse. And this glimpse is more than enough for someone to get attracted to come to that place. Suppose you are live. I am live this moment. If there is a great congregation at the moment, as happened during the time of Buddha, and the cameraman focuses on Buddha, but simultaneously he shows the big crowd that is gathered there. When he focuses on Buddha, you get to see only Buddha is speaking. And when it is broadcast, it is like a window into the entire episode. You can call it a satori, a gap. And then he focuses on to the crowd. It gives you an attraction. You make an effort. You realize that today you cannot reach there because it is far away, but you can enjoy the live broadcast. But next day you decided to go there. This is what happens when a glimpse comes to you, glimpse of the entire cosmos. It attracts you, it inspires you. Then your journey begins, and the sum total of these, one after the other, when these things, satoris, that gaps, that glimpses are happening on a regular basis, one day they explode into samadhi. You get a glimpse, you have come to the cosmic and looked into it, and then everything is gone back again. Of course, after this experience, you will not remain the same. Something has penetrated into you or added to your consciousness. You can never remain the same again. But still, that which has changed you is not with you permanently. There is just a remembrance, a memory. Therefore, it is a glimpse. If you can remember it, if you can say, I have known the moment, it is only a glimpse, because the moment samadhi has happened, you will not be there to remember it. Then you can never say that I have known it. With knowing, the knower is also lost. Only with the glimpse the knower remains. So when there is a glimpse, there is someone, the knower remains, and he can narrate, yes, I have experienced something, I have tasted something, I have witnessed, I had a glimpse of a beautiful scenery, or I heard something echoing into my ears. In samadhi, both the knower and the known disappear. Only the knowing, the process that happens between the two remains. The knower is lost, the known is lost, the subject is not there, the object is not there, but that which happens between object and subject remains. In satori, the object and the subject both remains. So the knower can keep this glimpse as a memory. Then he can cherish it, long for it, desire it, and again venture to experience it. But he is still there. The one who has had the glimpse, the one who has looked into it is there. It has become a memory now. And now this memory will haunt you, follow you, and will demand the phenomena again and again. You have gone to a shop, you have tasted a particular beverage that is very tasty, or one of your friend had carried you to that shop and let you taste that beverage. You tasted it. Because the beverage was there, you are the one who consumed it, the object and the subject is there. And then after you consumed, you have come out of that place, the memory, the taste lingers in your mind. And you may want to go to that place again and again. Something like this happens in satori. But the state of samadhi is totally different. The moment samadhi has happened, there is no one to remember it. Samadhi never becomes part of the memory, because for memory there has to be someone who knows it. You have consciously tasted that beverage, you liked it, the taste is retained in your memory, it is recorded and retained in your memory. And again it will haunt you to go back to that place, the ambience, the taste. But in samadhi, it cannot become a part of memory, because one who has experienced it is no more there. As they say in Zen, the old man is no more, and the new one has come. And these two have never met. The old is gone, and in place of that, a new has come. So they never meet. The disappearance of one is the appearance of the other. The old has gone and the new has come, and there has no possibility for the meeting between the two. Because the new can come only when the old is no more. Old is gone completely. Then there is no memory of it. Then there is no haunting, no hankering after it, and or any longing for it. Then you are at ease, and there is nothing to desire. After satori, you desire to have it again, but after samadhi, there is a total relaxation. It is not that you have killed the desire or you have destroyed. No, it does not happen that way. It is the state when there is no desire, a state of desirelessness, in the sense that the one who could desire is no more there. It is not a state of no desire. There is a difference between no desire and a state of desirelessness. You can be there, but there is no desire. You have eaten food, you got satiation, there is no more hankering for the food anymore at that moment. But the one that can feel, can experience is still there. And in desirelessness, the subject disappears. The one who could desire is no more there. And when the subject is not there, there is no more longing, there is no future, because future is created through our longings, through our desires. It is a projection, future is a projection of our desires, our longings. And if there is no one to desire, to long, then there is no desire and there is no future. If there is no desire, there is no future. And if there is no future, the past is not needed anymore either. The past is always the background against which or through which the future is longed for. How does it happen? You had visited a shop where your friend has told you that the particular beverage at this shop is very tasty. You went there, you tasted it. The taste is lingering in your memory. Now this is part of your memory, it is not there. And because of this taste, because of this past which is no more, because of this memory, you will long to go back to that particular place and have that beverage once again. So future is longed because of the past. If there is no future, if you know that this very moment you are going to die, there is no need to remember the past. Then there is no need to even remember your name, because the name has meaning only with the future. It may be needed, but if there is no future, you just burn all your bridges of the past. All those things that connect you, that bridge you to the past. There is no need for them anymore. The past has become absolutely meaningless, redundant. It is only against the future, or the future is meaningful only because of the past. The moment samadhi happens, the future becomes non-existential. It is no more. Only this very moment remains. This is the only time. Now is the only time. There is not even a single trace of the past. The past has dropped, and with the past the future too has dropped, and a single momentary existence becomes the total existence for you. This very moment is magnanimous, because all that has to happen will happen in that moment. You are in it, but not as an entity that is different from it. You cannot be different because you only become different from a total experience due to your past or future. The crystallized past and the future around you is the only barrier between you and the present moment. Because when your past is crystallized, it remains, lingers in your memory. The crystallized past and the future around you, in whatever form it may be, is the only barrier between you and this present moment that is happening. At this moment, something is happening, but you are thinking of something else. You have come to visit the restaurant. Why have you come to visit the restaurant? So that you can have the dinner at that particular location. But when you are sitting waiting for the dishes to be served, and even when the dishes are being served and you are tasting it, just try to recollect what you are engaged in at that moment. You are thinking of something which has been a crystallized past. Oh, you remember, you recall the last time when we went to the other restaurant? That particular dish there was really tasty. You are living in that crystallized past and missing this moment and the dish that is in front of you. The memory of that dish that you have tasted earlier on cannot satiate you at that moment, cannot fill your appetite at this moment. At this moment, whatever is in front of you, whether it tasting just like that one or better or worst, is not important, because this is what this very moment, this very dish is available to you in front of you, and it is only this that can give you satiation. Samadhi, therefore, is not a glimpse. Samadhi is the death of the past and the future. But satori is a glimpse, and there is a difference. A glimpse, when it comes, it is not death. It is simply a glimpse, and satori is possible through so many ways. An aesthetic experience can be possible source for satori. Music can take you into that state. Suddenly a musical note is played and it takes you into a state. This is why we have the sessions of sama in Sufi terminology, a congregation, a musical concert, where a particular musician, a master musician, plays his tune, plays a song, recites a poetry, and something, it takes you into an experience. It can be an aesthetic experience, and it can become a possible source of satori. In any intense moment in which the past becomes meaningless, in any intense moment when you are existing in the present, a moment of either love or music or poetic feeling, or of any aesthetic phenomena in which the past does not interfere with this present moment, in which there is no desire for future, satori becomes possible, it happens. You get a glimpse. You have been touched by the unknown and unknowable at that moment. But this is just a glimpse. The moment you come out of that concert hall, you have gone back into your old world, your old existence. But this glimpse is meaningful. It is a breakthrough. Because through this glimpse, you can feel for the first time what samadhi can mean. When this particular moment is so blissful. So what about the musician who continues to play this? What is the state of the mind of the person whose every word becomes a message, whose every single word becomes as if it touches the feelings and the thought contents of millions of people? I have said something. You do not have the language, but it touches you. This is your feeling. Through my words, I have expressed your feelings. This feeling becomes the message of the cosmos then. But then when you come back to your own realm, it is a different state. This glimpse is meaningful because through this experience, you feel for the first time the greatness of samadhi, what it can mean. It is the first taste or first distinct perfume of the samadhi, a fragrance. It comes through satori. It comes through this experience. You have come to this concert, you have listened to this, somebody has invited you to come to this concert, to come to listen to this awakened one. Something he says, something he has said, it has touched you. It creates a lingering effect into your ears. You can never forget that moment. There is a particular composition, Urdu composition, and I will give you an example. How does it work? एक बार जो तूने पुकारा था मुझे, ताजीज़ मेरे मन में बजती रही शहनाई. एक बार जो तूने पुकारा था मुझे, once you have called me lovingly, you have looked at me, I get the glance, the gesture through which you had called me, you had looked at me lovingly. ताज़ीज़ मेरे मन में बजती रही शहनाई. That sound continues to linger in my ears like the dissolving notes of an enchanting melody. You have heard a melody, you have tasted something, that taste lingers in your mouth. That sound lingers in your ears like the notes, dissolving notes of an enchanting melody. You had gone to a concert, you have met someone. The person looked at you, continued to look at you. That particular glance, that particular way of that person looking at you can continue, and it does continue to linger. Again and again you remember that. This is the first experience with someone. In Sufism, this is called Roza Awwal, the experience of the first day, the glimpse. if you can remember this, how love had knocked at your door for the first time, its memory lingers in you. So satori is that experience. When a déjà vu happens, you have met your spouse, she had said something, her face, her gesture, the way she looked at you, it comes like a déjà vu, and the memory of that continues to linger. That particular gesture remains in front of your eyes. That picture never fades, that words never fade, continues to linger. This is satori, and it is helpful in maintaining that relationship, for that relationship to nourish and nurture. But anything that is helpful can be a hindrance as well. If you cling to it, if you feel that this is everything, satori has a bliss, and it can fool you as well. It has bliss of its own because you have not known samadhi. This is the ultimate that has come to you. You cling to it. But if you cling to it, you can change that which is helpful, that which was friendly, into something that becomes a barrier and an enemy. So one must be aware of the possible danger of satori. It is helpful, and that anything that is helpful can be dangerous as well. If you are aware of this, then the experience of satori can be blissful. A single momentary glimpse is something that can never be known by any other means. No one can explain it. No words, no communion can even be a hint to it. Satori is meaningful, but just as a glimpse. It is a breakthrough. As a single momentary breakthrough into existence. You have not even known the moment. You have not even become aware of it, because it becomes close to you. Just a click of the camera, a click, and everything is lost. Then a hankering will be there. You will risk everything for that moment to come back to you again. Do not long for it, do not desire, let it sleep in the memory. Do not make a problem out of it. Just it has happened, you have enjoyed that very moment, and forget it. It will come back to you in a myriad folds, in a different way. If you can forget it and do not cling to it, then this moment will come back to you more and more. The glimpses will be coming to you more and more. You are not lost in the memory. Instead, you are aware that when the next moment comes, you are aware of it. A demanding mind becomes closed. You are not demanding that experience anymore. And this brings the possibility of glimpses to happen again. But a demanding mind is a closed one, and then any possibility of glimpse to happen again shuts off. It always comes when you are not aware of it, you are not looking for it or thinking about it, and when you are relaxed, not even meditating, it happens. A simple example, you are trying to recollect a phone number or something from your memory. You know it is just right here, but you cannot because you are tensed. You are making an effort to bring it. to the surface, trying to remember that phone number or the name of the person. The more effort you make, the more difficult it will be for you to remember. You forget all about it, you relax, continue into your regular work. All of a sudden, it surfaces because you are not hankering for it, you are not looking for it, you are not thinking about it, you are relaxed, not even meditating that very moment it happens. Even when you are meditating, the glimpse becomes impossible. But when you are not meditating, when you are just in a moment of total let go, not even doing anything, not even waiting for anything, in that very relaxed moment, this glimpse happens, satori happens. It will begin to happen more and more to you. But do not think about it, do not long for it, and never mistake it to be samadhi, because satori is simply a glimpse into the unknown and unknowable in the total existence, but that which is a permanent has not happened as yet. It gives you a glimpse, and when you add up these moments and they explode, they become samadhi. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.